Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Film Nerds Hour with your lovely host, Noah Sweeto, and...
Nathaniel Shoemaker.
And Doug.
You're right, I am better
We're going to call him Doug 80s.
I'm kidding. Doug... 80s Doug. 80s Doug?
80s Doug. That's what I was thinking about in the car. I'm like, we could give you a Doug name.
Since you don't want to give the universe your last name, we might as well give you a nickname.
Yeah, like Drunk 3PO.
Yeah.
But not Drunk.
Because just Doug.
What is Drunk 3PO?
Drunk 3PO is on Geeks and Gamers channel.
Yeah. Which they're not paying us. We're just talking about.
No. But I do admire Jeremy.
Yeah, they do some good stuff. They do some good
stuff, and they don't take any bullshit.
Yeah.
Very Alright, sorry, YouTube. I swore on the first under a minute. Whatever.
Well, here, just put this over it. Just put that over it.
On repeat.
Yeah. Or... do that.
There we go. Now we can do William Shatner. No offense to William Shatner. I just when I first realized
Shatner.
The last name is what got me at first, and then I felt bad because I felt like I was saying it wrong, and I'm like, please don't tell. Please tell me it's like Shatner, and I haven't just been saying Shatner this whole time.
Look at how Shatner has handled legal situations in his life. The man is gangster as fuck sometimes.
Oh, did you see him rip apart the SJWs the other day?
Yeah.
This is why I love him. Him and Mark Hamill. They are savage.
Well, one thing he did was when he got divorced, all he wanted was the horses because he realized he could make a lot more money selling the horse sperm than he could from getting money out of the divorce. Gangsta as fuck. Alright.
That makes me think of Ned Luke in a way.
Fair, man.
Also, he was doing a one-man show and he shat himself.
What?
Yeah. He, I guess he got some stomach bug, and in the middle of his one-man show, he was like, I'm gonna have to cut in so early, sorry guys, and he shit himself.
Oh, shit.
Hence the name William
Shatner.
Oh, in all good fun stuff.
Yeah,
for any reason, William Shatner's listening to this.
No libel.
Big fan.
Yeah,
man.
Great, dude.
Fantastic acting.
Your episodes of Twilight Zone, honestly, some of my favorite television.
I haven't got to see them yet, so I definitely gotta watch them.
Oh, so good. So good.
If for some reason, or Mark Hamill listens in, you never know.
We didn't insult Mark Hamill, though.
No, but if Mark Hamill's listening in,
yeah,
hi, it'd be a wonderful thing to have you on the show.
I mean, it would be great, and also we might actually explode.
That would be awesome, and I will guarantee you, we'd ask you more than just Star Wars questions.
I might have to get if we get you on our show, I might have to get you on my brother's Star Wars only show too, just because out of necessity. Because he'd hate me otherwise.
And 80s Doug is over here like...
I'm just here for the ride.
Yeah. I mean, Star Wars is 80s. Empire and Jedi.
Yeah,
I hate to say I've only actually seen one or two Star Wars movies.
I mean, well, there goes him coming on our show.
The D.
I mean, actually, no, I've seen 3 because I saw the Awakens. I've seen that. I saw one of the prequels. No. And Rogue One.
So yeah, 80s Doug had to leave really quick. We didn't kill him or anything.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah. Why are you still talking? You're ruining the bit. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding, man. I'm obviously joking. I'm making jokes to fill the void of Noah suffering because you've seen Force Awakens
and Rogue One.
No.
Okay,
that's
Rogue
not
One.
What you
Okay.
start with. Like,
I'm sorry.
All right. You know what? Today, we have a special treat.
It's not like you made him watch the movies. We do. The Blob.
The 1988 version.
Yeah, not 1958. 1988.
Which,
Off the bat, great.
I don't know how to express the love I have for this movie and its visual effects.
Oh, the visual effects. The score. The cast that actually tries. Awesome.
I'll be honest, the
like
movie...
everything. And
Go ahead.
we do get to see a young Shawnee Smith predated from Saw.
We get it. You have a crush. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, that was cool.
There is one thing I do...
Are you blushing now?
No, I was just excited. It reminds me when I first found out Shawnee Smith was in that movie. And I'm like, wait, Amanda from Saw?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god, I get to see her in another awesome movie franchise.
You are blushing. You're aware it's audio only, so there's really no evidence to dispute if I'm telling the truth or not, other than the fact that you're being quiet.
Yeah, for all you know...
I can't tell if I am or not.
You are blushing.
Oh, wow, I have the physical capacity to do that.
Yeah.
I'll be honest.
It's subtle, but it's there.
Anyways, Blob.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, this is the one movie that actually, or I don't know if I want to say it yet. I'll save it for later, but this movie did something that surprised me.
Yeah, it surprised all of us. We were talking about it made you happier than I thought it should have.
Because it made me happy to see a movie actually have the
Karma?
balls to do it.
Okay.
You know, think about that.
I understand that. And also, wait, Karma? Oh, because he had the snake. Oh.
Because you never get that kind of justice. It's always, oh yeah, because they get the pass because of that one reason.
Yeah. Well, we get a lot of scenes of justice in this movie.
Depends what. Depends your definition.
It kills cops that are
innocent.
Yeah. Well, it kills cops that like are just dicks to the main character.
Well, true, and
I felt bad for the one guy at the start of
military
the house.
man.
Yeah,
that's the one thing that actually made me
the homeless man
feel good. Like the acting in here and everybody, it really seemed like an authentic.
People cared.
Little town and community. Like these people actually were well developed. It wasn't like a Friday the 13th where it's like, oh no, titty girl just died.
Oh, not no. Titty girl, no.
Oh, the only thing that was memorable was about her boobs. Oh no,
the plot!
Look at the guy with the pubes hanging out.
Oh, no.
God, so sad that he got killed by Jason Voorhees.
No, not large ass lady, no.
Yeah, like this actually really had some good characters that were, you know, like even in the short amount, like the actors really brought some life to them. That's something that I really respected.
And I actually genuinely felt sad for people dying.
Yeah. Well, that and getting killed by the Blob is a horrible way to go in general.
Yeah.
Now, the one thing that always fascinated me about the Blob and the Thing is because they're basically resilient. They have... Mm-hmm.
Well,
they're polar opposites in a way.
Yeah, because the thing you can burn...
Can I just say one thing?
Yeah, go.
But Tish. It's kind of a funny thing you did there. Polar.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Oh, yeah, that's a good pun.
So I was going for it.
Well, spoiler for the Blob from 1988. Let's say that off the bat.
Yeah, the
guy fucking dies.
Interesting part about
people
this
die.
is that the fact that the Thing are polar opposites from the fact of their origin for one.
Oh yeah. Oh,
and B, the fact that you burn one and you can freeze one. To an extent.
And freezing it, let's be clear, freezing it doesn't kill it, as is proved in the end of the movie.
Well, same thing with the Thing.
Burning it doesn't kill it.
Burning it did not kill it.
No.
It just weakened it.
It just
weakened it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
It kind of put it in a forced hibernation again.
Yeah. Which
is
charred, you know.
Which they did to Pennywise, basically. The same thing kind of with Pennywise. They didn't kill... They thought they killed him, but...
The first time. They killed him the second time.
No, they definitely killed him
They pulled his heart out of his chest the second time.
Well, unless it's like the novel and we missed something, too. They just didn't add that detail.
Yeah. Well, the novel is its own situation.
Well, yeah.
Then it's 1,000 pages.
It's 1,000 pages. It's been scrutinized for a page and a half.
What?
There's a page and a half that people think is horrific, which,
If you're thinking about the scene that I'm thinking that they couldn't put in the movie.
Mm-hmm. For obvious reasons,
Which Stephen King has come out and said it. And I see where he went with it and why he did it. But
you two are going to have to tell me afterwards because I have no idea.
We do. We will have to tell you afterwards. We just don't want to talk about it on here because it's not a fun topic.
If you guys want to really go look at the novel, then you can look at it. There's plenty of other places to find what some of the darker stuff of it.
Dead Meat James talks about it too in his reviews of the Blob. Of it. In his reviews of it. Well, and also let's point out that 80s Stephen King was height cocaine binge Stephen King, so he wrote a lot of weird stuff.
Well, I mean, come on. Vomiting turtles. Turtles that vomit out of universe.
Vomiting turtles.
Demonic clowns that turn into birds and other weird shit.
Dead Zone. Dead Zone's weird.
Never saw those. There's a lot of Stephen King I haven't seen.
Yeah, we need to change that, my friend. We will. So, The Blob.
Should we start talking about how the movie starts?
Yeah.
So, if I remember it... Wait, did it start?
We started a football game.
Yeah, I thought so. Or no. I don't remember.
Yes.
Yeah.
We started a football game where we meet, where we see Shawnee Smith's character. Let me pull up the character names real quick.
Cheerleader girl.
Yeah, we see her as a cheerleader, and that is not the right version.
We got spirit. Yes, we do. We got spirit, but no IQ. Superstar. What's that spell? Because we don't know.
Meg Penny was played by Shawnee Smith, and then we have Kevin Dillon, who played Brian Flagg.
Yeah.
And then...
Oh, yeah, it was Brian.
Donovan Leach, who plays Paul Taylor.
Yeah, is Paul the football...
Yeah.
The running back? Yeah.
So, yeah, this is where we first meet Meg and Paul, which kind of had a Jeepers Creepers kind of twist in a sense.
Yeah, it really did, honestly.
It did?
Yeah, we'll have to have you do Jeepers Creepers with us.
It's not an 80s movie. That's why he doesn't know, guys. Don't judge him.
Isn't it 90s, 2000s?
It's early 2000s, but it's a good early 2000s. Like, I'm surprised.
Yeah.
I think
there was some stuff behind the scenes, but, things happen.
I will only say this once, that don't let it ruin the craft.
Yeah, I shouldn't have said things happen, but that was stupid of me. But, yeah.
But, yeah.
We can edit that.
No, I think that's fine.
Okay.
Because we didn't specify what.
Yeah.
No.
Well, it's a horrible thing, but...
No, it is.
I'm apologizing for... I think I downplayed it, is why I'm apologizing. I should have. So
the guy gets knocked down.
Oh, yeah, and he, asks her out while he's unconscious.
Yeah, he does a very...
Very smooth.
Cheesy, cringy... when Paul gets knocked down, he's like...
You gotta go on the date.
Acting like he's so out of it. He's got a hand injury.
Go out with me?
The guy just got stopped by basically a brick wall of a football player.
Yeah, that dude is a beefy fella.
I've been tossed through the air by a football player.
I mean, yeah, there is some pretty hard hits, but
yeah.
Well, yeah,
I wouldn't fake.
I have an interesting story.
Yeah, no. I mean, you have an interesting story?
Well, I can just say from experience, as when we were playing football on some frosted ground in a park.
Oh, God.
And there was...
Thanksgiving?
No. It was at a person's bonfire. And there was this big guy on their team, and we're playing tackle football on the frosted ground. Mm-hmm. I try to block him because I'm probably the closest thing to his size.
Sure.
He hits me with his shoulder or something. I get sent flying, probably 3 or 4 feet back, land on my back, do 2 rolls, and then I'm just spread on the ground.
Bunted.
That happened to me once. My older brother.
Bunt you.
And then I can tell you, it
didn't feel great.
You are dazed.
Yeah.
For I was on the ground for 15 seconds, just looking up at the sky.
Go ahead.
Can we also take a moment to realize that half of these movies, the freaking opening is always a damn football game,
or
there's a football game somewhere,
or something with a high
small
school
town. It's dude, we get it. They're in high school.
I think the reason that a lot of movies
they don't know how to open.
Well, no, it's just the reason it happens in a small secluded area is it feels more dangerous, right? Like that's the same thing with Eight-Legged Freaks. It's in this town in the middle of nowhere. That's why they can't get anyone to help them.
Well, no, the thing I think that adds to I think it kind of...
That's the same thing with a lot of the Friday movies, right? Very secluded area.
Yeah, but it's already kind of one of those things that are established,
Yeah.
The thing
when you already see it, as soon as you see the sign in the trees.
Mm-hmm.
The thing, it also kind of adds to the idea that it's
hopeless.
Probably, yeah. But I'm more thinking how this could have happened and we wouldn't have heard about it because it's just some small town.
Could have happened anywhere.
Yeah, and you probably don't hear about it because it'd be like a giant cover-up,
Maybe it's an homage to idyllic Americana. That small town.
I don't mind the small town. It's just that everything is football. Do something different for once.
Football or a high school thing.
Jaws did it well for a small town community, and they were literally on an island.
And
they're not gonna. They're trying to placate to an American audience and get teenagers who are seeing this movie relate to it. I feel like there's more kids, especially in that era, playing football than there is playing soccer.
Well, you don't have to do a sport period, is what I'm saying. Do something different.
Right.
I mean, some movies did do that.
I mean, like Stranger Things. You open on D&D. There's more to open on. I'm not saying that that's the best thing to open on.
Don't open on D&D. Don't do it. Because the people watching the movie are the people playing D&D. Why do they want to see jocks get killed in horror movies? Because they probably have jocks that are bullies to them. That's how they placate to the audience.
I want to make a stupid joke, and I'm not going to make a stupid joke.
Well,
thanks for that.
Gotcha.
Moving on.
Yeah, so he asks her out. She says yes.
And that is where we cut to Brian and we see his first scene, and he's basically sitting...
He's working on a motorcycle.
Biker boy.
Taking a beer and a nice cigarette.
Yeah.
Gotta get them cancer sticks in,
Yeah, well, and destroy the liver.
Yeah.
Sometime. You
Yeah,
really
yeah,
because
yeah,
it's
yeah.
for testing to see which one goes faster.
Yeah, he's sitting on a broken bridge.
And they really emphasized his character as being the bad boy with the leather
leather jacket, the mullet,
sitting there with the mullet, drinking
Wait,
the
I thought he
beer,
had an
taking
afro.
a puff.
He did not have an afro.
Or no, he had like kind of curled hair, like curly hair.
It was still a mullet.
It wasn't
Yeah.
a mullet.
Well, I mean, a traditional mullet is kind of shaved at the side, and it's more redneck-esque. It's just that he's got long hair. It's
Yeah.
unkempt and uncombed. He's a bad boy.
You can tell by the leather and the
He's
denim.
bad news,
So
kid.
he gets the bike
Which-
working. He goes to the.
He tries to jump a bridge that's broken out.
Yeah.
And then when
And it
he,
stalls while he's...
It stalls.
It's really well intercut with the fans cheering in the football.
Yeah, we had some very decent cutaways.
And then he lands at the bottom of the bridge, and a homeless guy picks up the cane.
applauding.
Yeah.
Well, he skidded because when his bike stalled, he ends up trying to turn away at the last minute and literally like scrapes his whole leg across, and then him and his bike fly.
Yep.
And I'm sitting there too, like, oh, that poor bike.
Yeah, not him.
Not him,
Well,
the bike.
you already knew he was going to be okay, but like, bikes are expensive. You can heal a leg. You can't heal a
Actually,
motorcycle.
I'll be honest. If we're thinking about doing like stunts with a movie, would you rather fix a bike or a car?
Fair.
Because a bike, it's
a
like
car is safer for the stunt driver.
yeah, but also a bike is small, not as much like body work and stuff. I would imagine. And
So,
also, it landed
yeah.
in sand,
If a vehicle gets broken, it's better if it's a bike than
and
a...
it landed in the sand too.
That's fair.
It depends on your budget.
That
Yeah.
too. And I think they had
All
9
right,
mil.
you're a director.
Or how much did they have for this one? 8.2.
No, they had a budget of 9 million, but they only made 8.2 million US dollars.
Oh, so it was a flop. then.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you go back now, it's always had a cult classic. That's the problem that they didn't do, is that they didn't give sequels to movies that
Oh yeah, I remember you
cult
said this
following.
one was gonna
Yeah.
have a sequel.
they set it.
Oh,
up.
they set it up in the ending. It was... What did you say the titles were going to be? Like...
Well, no, the original 1958 version had a sequel called
Oh, God.
Beware of the Blob.
Did it have the same music? Same
I believe
50s?
so.
Oh my
Awesome.
god, I love
Awesome.
it.
Beware of the Blob, it sleeps and creeps and glides inside the cross.
It's 50s
Yeah,
music.
It's very 50s, and it makes it very hard
72,
to ever
Jesus.
take it
58 to
seriously.
72? That's a big jump.
Yeah. Oh, look at that.
Well, that one was a flop.
Wait, go down a little bit.
Really? The sequel
at
to
that.
The Blob was a flop?
Look at that man's hat. Sorry.
Oh.
You got a hat.
Wow, I don't get to see the hat. I see how it is on this show.
This
Well,
giant
kidding.
cowboy.
let's see. Let's see.
Giant
here, 'cause
cowboy
I
hat.
believe there was a third movie to the original
Oh,
series
like-
too, possibly, but I think it got They ended up canceling it.
Oh, okay. There was one in the works in pre-production.
I think they were considering doing it,
Okay.
Deep-
There's a script somewhere.
but there's a. Well, now here's a Sci-Fi Wire thing from 2017 that says Samuel L. Jackson
Jackson
was going to be part of a new one, but I knew that they were trying to remake it again too, which
I'd watch it.
I wouldn't.
No,
It'd be nothing but shitty CGI.
Oh, good point.
it's a
Look
way
at-
to
look
kill
at the
some
thing.
time.
No, okay, no. This is the problem.
Oh, God.
One thing that we have to say about this movie, undoubtedly, that everybody can agree with, is that this is one of the best practical effect creature features ever.
For like kind of cheesy movies, yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
It's really
I
good.
mean, for low budget, I would say. I wouldn't say cheesy. I'd say low budget.
Yeah.
It's definitely
Yeah.
low budget, professional,
Yeah.
well done. But this had some
Including
of
the
the
soundtrack.
best practical effects.
Yeah, the soundtrack is
The
great.
soundtrack
Not
was
as- not as
very in
campy.
sync.
You know, I gotta be honest, it wouldn't even be for the special effects. You know why I would see a remake of The Blob with Samuel L. Jackson?
Because Samuel Jackson.
Yeah. I want to hear him say Blob motherfucker or something. Something involving the Blob and that word.
Get these blobs.
Blobify this, motherfucker!
Thank you.
Get
Yes.
these blobs off my plane.
Put it on the taglines.
Get the blobs off the
Spraying
plane.
all this acidic motherfucking
Yep.
whatever all over.
Tired of these. Have you seen the edited version of Snakes on a Plane?
Yep.
That they play on TV?
These monkey grabbing snakes on this
Monday to Friday plane.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah, it's really bad.
Beautiful. Oh,
That's
I
also-
love censorship.
I mean, yeah, that movie's not great either.
I love censorship
We're
when
talking
they do
about
that.
we're talking about a movie where a guy and a girl are having sex on a plane, and a snake attacks them, and the snake bites the girl's boob and the guy's ass. Like,
Well, we can't forget the fact that one guy got his Johnson bit.
Oh,
You know,
your friend, and your Johnson.
no, 'cause he's sitting there taking a piss and then looking at himself, grooming himself in the mirror, like, yeah. Handsome.
Why would you? Do you just not care about aiming in the air?
Right. Well, he ends up pissing on the snake's head, and you could see it. How the snake is like, really, dude?
Yeah.
Then he bites his dick, and he's just sitting there whipping it around.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
fucking thing, get off my dick!
Yeah.
Ah, fuck! I love that scene.
I also love the resolution of that movie because isn't the guy who they get to fly the plane? He like his explanation of how he knows how to fly the plane is because he plays Madden on his PlayStation or something like that.
What?
Yeah, it was something dumb. We'll definitely have to cover that in another episode.
Cool.
Or what's the? It makes me think of another really bad horror movie I remember. It was like something with like some octopus monster on a cruise ship.
Yeah, probably
Sharktopus?
octopus.
Or I don't know. It was like a
1,000 Leagues Under the Sea?
no. It was like on a cruise ship, and then it was like the one.
Poseidon.
I don't know. It was
No, it's
something.
probably octopus.
It was something
Yeah.
cheesy on Sci-Fi.
Yeah, it
like
was
octopus.
probably octopus, because there's 2 octopus movies.
If you don't know it, don't say no.
Well, I remember seeing it a while ago,
Okay.
and it was dumb.
That sounds like a sci-fi.
Well, going back to
the Blob.
Oh yeah.
So after we have our main bad boy, I'm trying to find his name again.
We went on a tangent as we do.
Sorry.
No, don't apologize. It's the brand.
Mr. Brian wipes out, and that is when we meet
Homeless
our first
guy.
homeless guy. Which
Yeah.
what was he even credited as?
Can Man.
Can Man.
Can Man.
Because he was clapping with a can. Yeah.
Yeah, so we meet Can Man, and he basically is just like, "Hey, you did a great job."
And
you
Brian
wiped
gives him a
out."
smile. Yeah.
Yeah, and basically he just picks up his beer can and is like, "I'll take that. I'm gonna add that to my collection."
Yeah,
So
and he's crushing cans with his foot later.
And then I think, oh yeah, with a frying pan on his foot.
Yeah.
yeah,
So
this dude defines hobo. This is like shameless level.
there's
and then,
Hobo, and then there's this guy.
So he's crushing cans, and then we see this pink light coming
Hold on.
down. Oh, sorry.
We meet the sheriff first, correct?
Yes, we meet the sheriff.
We do.
Yeah. Who's hitting on the diner
Oh
later.
right, yeah.
Yeah, which is played by
Oh yeah, at
Jeffrey.
the football game time.
Yeah.
Jeffrey D. Munn. Why?
Yeah,
is
Jeffrey DeMunn.
Wait, who was the
You would
50s
probably know him as Jim on The Walking Dead. He was in the first 2 seasons of that. He was also in The Mist.
Oh, God,
He does a lot of
that's-
stuff.
Yeah, and he played Sheriff Herb Geller in here, who's
Yeah.
basically flirting with. Was it Fran?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
waitress.
Played by Candy Clark.
Candy Clark.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, you read her name in the credits, remember?
Yeah, that's right. That's one of my favorite things is to read names of
And
people in
yes,
credits.
for Jeffrey
Oh,
D. Munn,
Green Mile.
he's done the 2000 The Mist,
Yes. It's a
Movie.
great movie. Great
The
movie.
Hitcher,
Mhm.
in 1986, The Majestic, The Shawshank
Yeah.
Redemption, The Green Mile, The Walking Dead.
Green Mile's amazing.
He's done a lot
Rocket
of-
Man,
A
Mob
lot of
City.
quality stuff.
Yeah, the X-Files movie he was apparently in too, and
Yep.
he was Blacklist.
Wait, they made a movie on the X-Files? I thought that was a
Yep,
series.
they made 2.
It's
They,
series
tie
and
in.
movies.
but yeah, definitely talented guy.
Green
Fun,
Miles.
fun to see.
He's a good character.
So then as well.
What's the line he says to the biker guy? 6'3".
Oh, all right. So about your question, I don't remember. I don't think he said anything to him
Yeah, he did.
about the bike.
He said the biker guy. He's like, you're gonna be 18 soon. You won't be.
Oh,
doing
Oh, you're
yeah.
talking
movie
about
time."
to Brian.
Yeah. That's
right.
who biker guy is in my
That's
head.
right. I got confused for a second. Okay, yeah. Well, he basically is just harassing him, but that wasn't Jeffrey DeMunn's character. No, it wasn't.
I thought it was in
Nope.
the street.
Nope. That was what's his face who was in RoboCop.
He's the one who drove up to him. I could have sworn it was Jeff DeMunn. Okay.
Because he harasses him
there
later
it is.
too.
There it is. Can Man.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm trying to find his name though.
Then who is it? Who is it the guy talks to in that shop that he's working on his bike in?
Oh,
The black guy.
Dr. Meadows?
No,
Yeah.
that's the
Or that
that's the
before
government. The guy in the shop.
No.
The guy's
I
working
know
on
who
the
you're
snow
talking about.
machine.
With the go back
No.
one. Go back. I think I saw him. It's that guy at the end there.
Yeah, Moss. Moss.
How do you say his last name?
Yeah, we can go by Moss.
Bow.
All right. Yeah.
And he's played by
Bow.
He's played by
Bow.
I don't even know how to
Yes,
say it.
No.
he's played by
Bow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
he
he's
plays Moss
working.
Woodley.
He's working on a snowmaking car.
Plow truck.
What's a plow truck that makes snow?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That part was kind of unclear, but
They have a nice bit of dialogue back and forth.
yeah, and then that's when we move to
The ribbed scene, your favorite scene, of course.
Oh god, yeah.
Which scene?
Or no, wait, didn't we go to the meteor?
The pharmacist.
When they're at the pharmacy.
Oh,
yes.
the pharmacist man. Yes, so we have a we meet Paul getting ready to go on his date with Meg.
Ow.
And I bet we see he goes into a store with his friend who is
His friend's gonna go get some condoms.
Yeah, who I'm trying to remember his friend's name.
Who's the other football player? I think would probably be in the first names.
No, because he's not in there long.
Nope, he's not in there very
I know, but he's in there early.
Was it Scott? Yes, it was Scott.
Yeah. So his friend
Played
Scott,
by
Jessica.
Ricky Paul Golden.
he's gonna get some condoms from the
What
pharmacist.
a name.
Yeah, so he goes to get some condoms for his date, and that's
The
where
minister talks to him.
we meet the Reverend, played by Del Close, and we also meet Mr. Penny, who was played by Art LaFleur.
Art LaFleur. He's a great actor too.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen him some.
I think he's in Modern Family. He's the dad in Modern Family, maybe.
Isn't it that 70s show?
Oh, he's in Transfers as well, but
Yeah.
Zone Troopers. Yeah, I'll have to take a look at those. But yeah, that's where we meet him, and so basically, Scott meets with the Reverend, and that's where they have a bit of a discussion. He's like, asking him, "Oh yeah, I haven't seen you at church lately. So how you been? What you been up to?"
Yeah.
And Mr. Penny brings over the condoms, and he takes up two right in front of the Reverend.
Regular or ribbed.
Yeah. And
he's like, they're not for me. They're for my
no, no. First he says,
ribbed, I guess.
"Did he?"
Yeah, he said
Yeah,
ribbed, I guess.
ribbed, I guess. They're not for me. They're for my friend. Then he points to
that guy.
to Paul,
Looking at
who's
magazines
just
or something.
looking at magazines, and he's like, "Come on, dude, hurry up!"
Yeah.
He's
And,
very antsy.
And what did Penny say?
I remember.
About the kid? He said, "Your friend's like impatient. He should learn to shut his mouth," or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, he said something really rude when him and the Reverend were looking.
Oh yeah, he swore.
Yeah, he swore. So they leave the shop, and then
He goes to pick up Meg, right?
I think so.
Yeah,
No.
we got the
We
hobo.
see Can Man. He for the first time, he's just minding his own business, crushing cans with his
Frying pan.
frying pan boots.
And then,
Yeah, frying pan
and
boots. You can
then
get them now.
We see an orb
Yeah,
or asteroid come out of space and hit the ground.
yeah, with a
Yeah.
pink light. And I'll be honest, when I first saw it, I don't know. It looked kind of.
It's a very good description. So he goes up to it,
I don't want to spoil.
the smoldering wreckage
Wreck.
of it, right?
Yeah, so we have Can Man walk up to it and
Pokes it
basically
with a stick.
he pokes it with a stick. Well, what he sees in there is it looks like a giant comet, but it looks like it has like a orangish pinkish goo,
Goo, like in this thing.
like in the original Blob. Kind
Yeah.
of looks like that. It's kind of got like a silver tint to it, the foam itself. And he takes.
He takes a stick and picks it up, and then it like latches onto his hand. Like,
No,
really
it jumps on the
fast.
stick and then it goes up the stick
Yeah,
in his hand.
Pokes it a couple times, jumps up on his stick, and then it jumps onto his hand.
Yeah.
He screams.
And which, yeah, we see
What?
him freak out.
Yeah. And later we see him like try to cut his own hand off, but it
In front of
covers the
biker
wound.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, in front of Brian. But that is
That's after.
As after
Oh
after he runs into the woods, after his dog runs away. Before that happens, but then we cut to Brian going up to the Penny's house, And that's where we get to meet the
Meg.
two little brothers of Meg.
Are those her brothers? I thought one was just the one.
No,
one
they
was
were-
her brother, and the other was his friend.
No, they were brothers.
No, they're brothers. I'm trying to find the name of the other. And we also get to meet Miss Penny, who is played by Sharon Spellman.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Michael
But
and...
She's
we
great.
meet Kevin, the little brother Kevin, who's played by Michael Kenworth.
Is-
And I'm trying to find if
Maybe he
there's
is
another
just a
one.
friend.
Yeah, I was pretty sure because he was saying, "Come on, man."
I think, he is just a friend, isn't he?
The guy with the headphones. Yeah.
Well, no, his last name isn't Penny.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's Hobb.
It's either, or no, was it Anthony?
Maybe.
Let's take a
It's
look.
difficult because the Google pictures show how they look now, not how they looked in the film.
Well, that's how you can always tell who's who in a way because they don't look like they're.
Wait.
You could tell if they're old. Yeah, that's that would be.
The Lost Boys.
Oh, great movie.
No, we're looking at... He looked up the Blob, and now it's some stuff about the Lost Boys.
Still a great movie.
Which one? Who is he?
I think that's him.
Yeah, but they're not brothers,
No, they're not brothers. They're just friends.
so I was right. So great.
So we meet those two.
One with a Walkman.
So after that, we see Brian. We see the two kids scamper off, and then
They're gonna
we
sneak into a
see-
movie.
Yeah, they're gonna sneak into a movie.
Always fun.
And then Brian meets Mrs. Penny. And basically he just introduced himself, and then we cut. He asks him to wait at the door, and then she goes upstairs to go get Meg, who has accidentally turned the laundry pink with
Oh yeah,
her
So she's
sweater,
got the pinks. Yeah, yeah,
which was kind of unnecessary, but
yeah.
okay. It was just
Alright.
I didn't.
It's to show that these people are human.
Yeah,
I mean, it could just be camouflage to the Blob.
It could be a reference. Oh, maybe it's like symbolism.
it could be.
All right. But no, she's like, I want you to meet.
yeah.
She goes down and she's like, I want you to meet my dad.
Oh, yeah.
And
Ribbed.
yeah, her dad's the
Yeah.
pharmacist, and he looks at him and goes,
Ribbed.
Yeah, but well, the funny part is that he has a newspaper in front, and Paul slowly starts to walk towards him. So we get like this big thing, like
A reveal.
okay, who is he? Yeah, which at first, the first time watching it, I thought it was the Reverend, but it was Mr. Penny,
Yeah.
which made it that much more hilarious. But
It's more hilarious that way, yeah.
yeah,
Oh, wait, and then we get the hand cut scene.
then we get to where we get Brian, who's minding his own business,
Fixing
with
his
the
bike.
cycle. Yeah, and then we get Can Man, who walks over and
He tries to cut his hand off
With an
them.
axe.
with an axe.
axe. Yeah, that
But
he's
it like
holding.
kept going up.
No,
Well, no.
he just didn't get far because Brian stopped him.
Yeah, because he's got.
It goes up over the cut.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Did it?
Yep.
Yeah.
After he puts a
Okay.
little bit of a cut in there.
And I remember he runs down to the road and then
Um.
they hit him
Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah.
Brian hits him.
with the care.
The car.
No, Paul is the one. So
Paul hits him. You're right.
getting a little ahead.
Only a little? Okay.
Only a little. No. That Can Man runs off again after Brian stops him.
Yeah, yeah.
And then he's kind of running around. Brian trying to figure out
He's
what the hell
chasing
is
him,
on his
yeah.
hand. And that's when we cut to Paul and Meg, who are just driving down through the woods for their date. And that's when Can Man runs in front of the car,
And
and
they
Paul
smack him.
accidentally hits him. And then we see Brian run out to try and
Confront him.
Yeah.
confront him. And then, it was kind of funny that Brian was acting all defensive, like, what did you do to him? And it's because
Yeah.
it was like, okay, dude,
You were chasing him, so...
You're the fucker who hit him, so...
I think he even brings that up when he was like, "Yeah, you're the one chasing him."
Yeah, exactly. You were trying to kill him or something.
And then they tell him to go
He was
to the
running
hospital.
from you, yeah. Yeah, they put him in the car and he comes with them because he's a witness or whatever.
So they
Yeah.
get there and he's put in a bed.
And then we have Brian heads out to go to the diner, if I remember right.
Yeah, he does.
And then Brian and Meg are trying to...
Meg
they
felt
were
like-
staying behind to help.
Yeah.
help
Paul
them.
and Meg. Yeah.
Meg was out in the waiting room.
Yep, Meg was in the waiting room. Brian
Went to go check on the guy.
makes a call, and then
Oh,
he
yeah.
heads in to go.
I'm confused. You said Brian for both guys.
Or Paul, sorry.
Yeah,
Paul makes a call.
Paul's the boyfriend. Brian is the biker.
We don't get to hear their names a lot, so sorry.
Yeah, Brian is the biker dude. He goes out to the diner in the town, and then Paul makes a call, and then goes to check on Can Man, who...
Once he reveals or pulls the blanket up.
Yeah, he's like half
melted.
Yeah.
Well, no. Before then,
we
see
just looks
Can
bad.
Man, who's... It's like his whole arm and his whole neck is all inflamed. His eyes are completely white, and he's got like these little blotch spots, like giant pus-like.
Oh yeah, and he's making some weird noises.
So then he goes and
starts freaking out.
He gets the doctor
saying, "Hey, someone's dying over here."
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because the doctor is talking to this random woman.
And he's like, "I'm with a patient," and it's like, "This dude is dying."
Yeah, and it sounds like they're just shooting the shit in there. Like it's not really anything important.
It's a small town hospital. They're very casual.
I mean, Mrs. Whatever, you have an STD. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah.
So then they both head over to the room. They pull the blanket up. Guy, it's half melted.
Yeah. It's
like,
just his torso.
His entire bottom half is just
very
gone.
good effect.
It looked very real. It kind of gave me like a Saw 6 vibe.
Yeah.
Like the actual melted guts. If you've seen.
Yeah, when the acid. And
you
killed my
really
father, motherfricker. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, Devin Bostick.
Yeah.
Great actor.
Great.
But yeah, and then we get the doctor who's kind of freaking out, like, okay, well, this is new. This is not small town stuff.
Yeah.
And then we have Brian who's trying to call the police department.
Or wasn't he writing something?
Or, I mean, Paul goes into the room after whatever the doctor's patient was kind of like scampering out, figured out something.
Yeah, he's going to call someone.
Calls the
sheriff. He's going to call the sheriff, and that's when we see the Blob push the door close and slip up the wall.
Yeah, which is...
And then I think... What does he start writing? Because he started writing something.
Well, because acid hits the table, and he notices that, and then looks up, and it falls on him.
Yeah. Which, something that is not really specified, but can be assumed throughout this movie, is that the Blob can...
choose.
It chooses when it wants to use its acidic acid, when it wants to be acided.
Yeah. I think so. That sounds right, yeah.
Because there's quite a few things, like, you'd think if it was just purely acidic...
It would burn the wall.
It would have burned through the wall, wouldn't be able to climb up the walls and whatnot.
Exactly. But then Meg, hears him, right?
Yeah, he screams.
Yeah, she screams, and then we find out, which we get this really cool effect of where the Blob is literally covering...
Like, melting him.
Minus his arm.
Yeah. And Meg goes to grab his arm and try and help him out.
And pulls it off.
His arm off.
And then his face, melts.
Yeah.
And then Meg hits a wall and passes out.
Yeah, I said it to you guys before. I did not expect him to die that early.
Yeah, they really kind of pulled a...
It made me sad.
Jeepers Creepers, which
is
kind of neat.
It actually, for once, a horror movie death of a character we didn't really get to meet made me sad.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
because he wasn't stupid. He didn't do anything.
He was trying to help.
And he wasn't an asshole who was just trying to get laid either. He was like a genuinely
nice guy.
I just want to go on a nice date.
Yeah.
And
I want to hit on girls after I get concussions, because
yeah. And then we go across.
We go
to a street to Brian, who's now in the diner.
Mm-hmm. Oh wait, no! Didn't all of
the cops come?
Yeah, the cops and the ambulance and stuff all at the hospital.
Oh, yep. And then we see Meg's parents, Mr. and Mrs. Penny,
and then the biker guy in the police car.
Mm-hmm, hold on.
Oh, right.
And then we see Mr. and Mrs. Brian with Meg as they are trying to comfort him, and then we have Deputy Bill, who's played by Paul McCrane. He was also in RoboCop as the
guy who melts.
Yeah,
ironic. Yeah.
So we get him, who's playing Deputy Briggs, and he tells he basically says just have her go home and have her get some sleep, which is kind of like, I don't think she's really gonna
from the trauma.
Sleep from watching her date literally melt in some sort of weird foreign object.
Exactly.
Which, another thing to point out, the Blob progressively grows
each
as it assimilates.
As it consumes people, it grows in size.
Yeah.
Yeah, which
Am I the only one who thought the bigger it got, kind of
the less scary, because it's less hidden. You know where it is.
Yeah, it's right there.
Godzilla's scary and it'd be scary in real life.
Well, but I remember the way it kind of stayed hidden was
go the other way.
Well, the way it stayed, once it started getting bigger, I remember the way it stayed hidden was
water.
It moved through the subway or moved through the
sewers.
Sewers.
But we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Yep, sorry.
isn't the next thing because they picked up Brian because they assumed he killed him.
That's where we go back to Scott, who is got an unknown date, and kind of is a date rapist.
Yeah, he's got a date rape kit that in his trunk.
I mean,
Man was kitted
cool
out.
that he's got a mini bar in the back.
Yeah,
of his
man was
car.
kitted out.
Yeah, but it's got he makes a point of like with the date. He's like, I gave you my class ring. Does that mean I'm gonna get some tonight? And then he goes to get her another drink, and he's got a box full of
A
class
cigar box.
rings.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, you're a date rapist.
So you can already tell that the condoms were for him, and that he was just a complete asshole. You could tell what kind of person he
There's
is.
still one thing I wonder about.
Mm-hmm.
So they're up on like some random viewpoint or like ridge, right?
Sure.
Why is there a sewer grate in the middle of nowhere?
Is there? I didn't.
Yeah,
think
because
there
he
was.
like goes into like a sewer grate after he gets them. If you remember, he like went into like a pipe or something.
Who's he?
It?
The Blob?
Yes.
I don't think it went in. We didn't see it go anywhere.
Crawled down the mountain.
Yeah.
Oh, was it down the mountain? I thought it crawled into like a pipe or something.
No, later. It shows up in a pipe.
Yeah.
But so
Um.
he goes back into the car and she's like passed out presumably.
We see the
From
Blob
Murphy's.
POV crawl into the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's when we see Scott try to make his moves.
He starts
basically
unbuttoning her.
Yeah,
she
he
isn't
says something
responding.
cheesy like, "Oh yeah, that
warm.
kind of cotton must be warm,"
Yeah.
and goes to old perv, and that's when the best karmatic action happens. He goes to grab her boob, and the next thing you know is that the Blob grabs his hand, reaches to his face,
And she
then,
collapses from the inside.
yeah, her whole face implodes into nothing.
And then we just see some like shaking in the car. Guy tries to kick
his
out the window.
foot goes through the window and then gets
He
pulled
kicks
back
out the
in.
window and then he kicks the bucket.
It
Or
seems
kicks the window.
It seems like something that my high school would have shown during sex ed. This is what happens when you touch
Don't
a
have
boob.
sex or you will be killed.
Exactly.
Right. And then we cut to Meg, who is in a room. She's still visually upset. But
She's
then,
crying.
She goes to the diner, right?
Yeah, but then she ends up going out to go meet Brian to figure out kind of more what happened.
Oh yeah, because he was at the police
Oh,
station.
she bails him out. That's
she bails
right.
him out
Because
after
he's getting
arrested,
harassed
yep.
by cops.
Or no, wasn't she going to? But then
No.
I thought they just let him go.
Oh yeah, they did.
Oh yeah, she was on her
whatever
way to bail him out. She walks past him. Yeah.
Yeah, because Bill was trying to interrogate him, and he basically said, "I didn't do anything. I'm the one who was trying to get into the hospital in
Yeah.
the first place."
You can't prove I was there when
Yeah.
this happened. Like the lady saw me leave. Like
Yeah. So then he meets Meg outside, and they head over to the diner. Then they head over to the diner.
yeah.
And then they see Fran.
Who says they're
Who's
closing?
great? Can we
And-
just say she's great? Like
She is.
she's the kind of waitress I would want.
Yeah. And then we see they make an order, and Fran's just locking up shop, and she kind of understands what's happened. So she locks up shop so the two can just kind of eat in peace because it's their last few minutes. And then they get George, who's basically just a dishwasher.
Oh, is that
God,
who it is?
yeah.
That's him? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, she's like the sink is clogged, so she's trying to plunge it, and he's like, "I'll take care of it. You go ahead."
They
And
start-
he starts to plunge it.
Aggressively plunges.
Yeah.
And then he can't get the water to go down, so he sticks his fingers down the drain, which is something I've never done. As somebody who did wash dishes
Yeah.
at a restaurant for a year, I still would have never done that because it's disgusting.
And then I think
Oh,
he
it's
sticks his
disgusting.
arm
I thought it
down.
was for safety.
Huh.
I thought it was for safety why you wouldn't put your hand down the drain.
That too.
Yeah, because
It's disgusting, but you never know what other gross stuff might be down there and what else could happen if the drain goes out.
And then you get.
I was talking about garbage disposals.
Yeah, that too, especially.
Yeah, that's
Can
the
we
thing.
question a flaw here? Why do garbage disposal switches look like light switches? Exactly like light switches.
Yeah, that's what ours looks like, but it's under the sink, so you can't turn
Okay.
it on.
Our old setup at my old house had the garbage disposal switch right next to the light switch.
Ooh.
And they looked exactly the
Yeah,
same.
that's the one thing I always hate in movies when the guys or when someone sticks their hand down a drain. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm almost expecting.
Because it's not like
It's
a
a trope.
restaurant type of.
Well, and it's like it's a trope. Like some guy goes to get a ring or he drops something down, he puts his hand down.
Stuart Little.
Yeah, that was a thing in
Stuart Little without the
Stuart Little.
without the
without the charm.
grindy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Final Destination 2.
Oh God, please don't
I haven't
remind
seen
me.
that yet.
I know. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, because I just
So
say one.
what you're expecting to happen happens.
In
The
a
blob
sense,
comes out of the
not right
drain.
away, though.
Well, no, he reaches down, nothing happens, he doesn't find anything, and then it...
He finds
Jump.
this weird goo, and he's like, okay, what's this slime?
oh, yeah, and then it almost, like...
That's when the blob grabs him, grabs his face, and literally pulls him in, which was an awesome
Face
effect.
first.
I'll be honest, it kind of looked
Yeah.
funny in a way to me. Like, it kind of looked almost cartoony, the way he grabs him.
Yeah.
And he's
Yeah.
just up, like, almost doing a
Um,
handstand in the sink.
And
Yeah.
that's when we get Fran who comes in and starts freaking out, which was kind of funny.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, because she goes, ah! George!
Yeah.
George! And we literally just see George's legs dangling
flop.
out. the
It reminded me of Evolution a little bit. Have you seen that one? I think I've talked about it before on the show. Evolution,
The show?
the movie.
Oh, yeah.
It's got the guy from X-Files in it. But there's a scene in it where a main character, this black guy, he gets sucked up into what is essentially a giant asshole, and all you see is his legs kicking, and you just hear him go, "It's horrible in here!"
Yeah, he's dangling, he gets pulled down the sink, and then the...
Oh, the pipes move and blood comes out.
Fran is trying to grab him, and that's when we see Brian and Meg come in, and he's like,
They,
don't
like,
touch
run in.
him.
Yeah.
And then the music and the sound mixing were so perfect. Because you hear
Clunk,
the
crunch,
music, you hear
chunk.
all the crunching of the pipes.
And, like,
And
just
then
the gurgling
The
noise
word
almost.
crunch
Yeah, and
is not,
And you see how, like, as it starts to melt George down,
Yeah.
you see where it hits the pipe and expands, and
Yeah,
then you
and
see
then
all the blood
blood.
just shooting out.
Whoever did that, be proud of yourself,
The
and
visual
please.
effects, yes. And
So-
we see that George's whole foot has turned purple. Like, we see that's completely taken over his body, and then we see it get yanked down.
Yeah.
And then it's, like, almost silence for a second, and then we see the blob almost, like, blow up out of the pipe and then get on the
Yeah,
ceiling.
which is also really great.
Which was a good pacing in time, because it was really cool just to kind of see the foot go down and then have like that moment of silence, and we just hear the drain kind of empty, so it's like, is it really in there, or did it go
did
with
it
the
Did it go
water?
away? And nope, it's
No.
So-
And the visual effect for that was great because it like shot up and then dispersed all over the ceiling.
Yeah.
So after that...
Everybody runs in different directions.
Yeah, the biker dude... Or what's
Biker
his name?
dude,
Brian.
Brian and Meg.
They run to the
Oh
freezer.
my god.
They run to the freezer, and then Fran runs out to the phone box.
How do we not know Brian and Meg are Family Guy names?
Well, I know that was my thing. That's why when you said Meg, when I was watching, I was like, wait a minute,
No,
was
her
it?
name is not Meg. Yeah.
So yeah, they run to the freezer. Fran runs out to the phone box.
But
Phone
we gotta also give creds to like the blob following them on the ceiling. Like
Yeah.
the whole blob was like shifting,
Shimmy,
and
shimmy.
moving, and
Yeah. Something chasing you is one thing. Something chasing you via the ceiling, hell no.
Makes me think of the toddler from that one movie.
and then when they go into the freezer, they see the blob. We have Brian grab a hook, and he's getting ready to stab the thing.
Yeah.
But
It just creeps under the
blob
door.
creeps under the door a little bit, and
And then he like
the
he goes at it.
It touches the ice.
Well, no, it as soon as it touches the ice, it freaks out and then moves away.
And it left a few pieces of itself.
Yeah, which were frozen instantly, though.
Yeah, yeah.
It almost looks crystally looking.
Yeah,
Was
like a
frozen
crystal.
instantaneously.
So I think they kind of figured it out a little bit there.
They kind of had a realization they're waiting in there, and then we see Fran who desperately jumps out the window
She did?
and runs to the back
Yeah, yeah.
alley
Oh yeah, to the phone
and
box,
to the phone booth, which
Booth,
is made
yeah.
of all glass, so it's one of those traditional ones.
the old one.
We get a
she-
birds parody.
Yeah, we get to see her. She's trying to call the sheriff.
and then we see the
And we see
blob
the-
start. Oh,
We see the blob come out, and then it slowly comes up onto the.
It's encasing her.
Yeah, it encases and engulfs the entire. Is starting to engulf the entire
it's
phone
trying to-
box.
yeah.
And then
All
as
the
as it's coming down,
She calls, and they're like,
we hear them pick up the phone.
"Yes, hello, sheriff's department." And she's like, "Can I get deputy da da da?" And they're
the
like,
sheriff.
"Sheriff da da da." And she's like, "Oh no, he went to the diner a few hours ago." And then she looks, and you see him inside the blob,
Like
Which
his
is
face.
You see his eye, and he's all white, like he's
Yeah.
partially decaying. And
and you see half his jaw like in
Yeah.
another direction. And
Jeffrey, Sheriff Herb,
Yeah.
Sheriff Herb. So he didn't last long either.
Killed
And that
off
was the one
screen.
who
Yeah.
asked Fran on a date. So that was even
Yeah.
the more terrifying part too. And you just see him.
he was going to pick her up.
But it looks like it's underwater.
It really does.
It's so great. It's super great.
Yeah, it's a really great effect. And then you hear glass cracking, and then
The
It
doors.
seeps in and it caves in and it
caves the doors.
completely brings her up and
Yeah.
then just drags
It's
her
almost
out,
like a
which is-
tsunami just broke through the doors.
Yeah,
a pink tsunami.
It's such a very visually well done scene.
So Fran's dead.
And then Fran is dead, and we see the Blob go into the drain, and then we see Meg and Brian come out and kind of are like looking around, trying to figure out where things are going.
Yeah, they go to the woods, right?
Yeah, they run into the woods,
Because they're thinking, let's find where it came from. Start there.
Oh yeah,
and
and then that's when we see the suits, right?
that's when we meet. Yeah, we meet Dr. Meadows,
Bunch of guys in hazmat suits.
and we meet
The Colonel.
we meet Colonel Hagris. And they're basically what we learn is that the Blob is actually an American weapon.
Well, that's later when they lift it up. Because what they tell the kids is like, it's a bioorganism from outer space, and we're going to keep this town safe and quarantine it and kill it, and everything will be fine and hunky-dory.
Yeah, and then the kids they tell them about like what they know about the thing.
Yeah, tell us everything you know. It could be helpful. So then they put him in a truck to send him away.
To bring him back home.
But Brian's not buying it, which is smart.
But also that kind of fits his
mantra.
yeah.
And then they go back on the motorcycle, and then
He breaks out.
Yeah.
He breaks out of the van, goes back on foot.
Meg stays in the truck.
Yeah, and goes back to her family, who's grouped outside the city hall. And then he sees them lifting up the rock, and underneath the rock,
It's like a satellite
American
almost.
flag satellite thing. And turns out it's a bioweapon. And they're gonna capture it and kill all the town people anyway, because they were witnesses.
to get data on how it works.
Yep.
Yep, and so your typical government, which,
Yeah.
not surprising for real life.
Good allegory. Good,
More accuracy.
They were like, this is the only way we can beat the Russians. Which would be Cold War era at this time.
It does fit. It's at the end of the Cold War almost.
Yeah.
Still think every time, destroy all humans, little green commie.
Yeah, I saw that coming a mile away.
I knew that was coming.
So basically, we see Brian have this epic chase scene on his motorcycle.
Yeah. He punches a few guys. It's really cool.
Yeah. Excellent fight scene, and then he makes it back, and then
He does the jump, and a truck
He
flips
actually does
over.
the jump, yeah.
And
he does the...
for once, a truck flips over and doesn't explode. Which I remember, I was expecting it to explode, because it's
GTA
like...
logic.
See
well,
the
not
car.
just that,
Yeah.
but like in any like action or horror movie, when there's a car chase, if a
Always an
car...
explosion.
Well, yeah, if there's like a car or a bike does like the smallest flip or like hits a trash can or a lamppost, just huge explosion. Like
Yeah.
the thing was filled with gas.
It's called using what's left of your budget, Doug.
yeah.
Yeah. And then that's when we get to the movie theater or the town.
Town hall.
No, it's movie. Well, we see everyone grouping outside the town hall.
And then
We get to the movie theater.
oh yeah, because Meg goes.
Her little brothers are watching, or her
little
brother and her
brother
friend.
and her friend are sitting and
They snuck
watching
into
this
a
horror movie thing.
slasher film, like
Yeah.
a slasher parody film.
a poor man's Michael Myers. It looks like if
Friday
Jason
13th.
Voorhees was
Met
crossed with
Halloween.
Texas Chainsaw,
Oh yeah,
because he has a chainsaw. And there's a
Oh,
guy in the
yeah.
back of the theater quoting the movie.
to his date, who's obviously like, dude, just shut the fuck up already.
And I'll be honest, I just want to say one thing.
Yeah.
I still want that guy's hat.
Yeah, that was a nice hat.
I like the Hilti hat.
Yeah. Which can we just use this as a PCA? You talk in a movie theater, I hate you. I hate you.
Especially if you're like that guy and start like kind of saying it, but like before it happens.
But apparently he was the puppeteer and he played the theater manager. But I don't.
No, wait, that was the other guy.
That's the other guy with the bow tie who was
Yep.
like, "You gotta shut up, or you're gonna get kicked out." Yeah.
No, wait,
Oh, that's
wasn't that
right.
the guy that?
I'm
No,
talking
that's.
Was that
Yeah, I
the
know what
camera
you're talking
guy? Or who's the
I can't
camera guy?
find his name on here, but
But yeah, so
the usher comes up after
Yeah.
the kids basically tell the dude to just be quiet already. Nobody
Yeah.
wants to hear you.
and the guy like said to a kid like "F you."
Yeah, and then we have the usher come up and he's like, guys, your mom's gonna kill me. You gotta be quiet. Put your feet down. And then the kid, we have this one tacky friend. The kid is listening to headphones in the movie theater, and I just want to slap him.
Yeah.
Who
Why are
does
you there? Why are you there?
You're there to watch a movie, not listen to your damn music.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
God.
don't-
Now I feel like a dad.
I don't care if Flock of Seagulls came out with a new album. Put the headphones away.
Exactly.
Well, I guess you could say he did ran.
So far away. All right. Well, thanks for joining us. No, I'm kidding.
But basically after that we see the usher walk away, and then that's when we see
the guy who's
camera
running
guy.
Or
the cameraman.
Yeah, camera operator. Projectorist.
Yeah.
He opens the vent because he doesn't get any air.
Well, he hears something in the vent.
Oh, yeah.
So he opens it, and you hear, like...
Which is
And can I just say one thing? Or, sorry, you were probably about to say the same thing. But when he...
It's very tacky because he doesn't look straight in front of him.
Yeah,
he looks up, where did you go?
Yeah, he gets up in the vent. He's looking... It's like he gets up in the vent.
Left, right, behind him.
He's looking everywhere
then
but...
in front of him.
And then he looks in front of him. We get the standard...
Yeah, and then he gets pulled up, and then it comes out.
Well, first we see the manager. We cut to the manager going in there, and he's like, where the hell is this
all
guy?
we see is the light thing on the ground.
And then... Yeah, we see that, and then we see a yo-yo bouncing up and down. And that's when we get another cool effect of the blob with somebody else who's starting to be decomposed. Assimilated, yes. And then it picks up the
other guy.
Which
with, like, tentacles.
Reminds me of Dimension 404 with that Patton Oswalt episode where they have all the tentacles come out of the screen, and that's kind of what it reminded me of, too, which I bet is where their inspiration came from.
Yeah, it's like these two meaty tentacles grab him, pull him up, and then is that when the camera gets corrupted?
That's when the camera starts to blur, and then we see
first the guy keeps narrating, and the guy turns around and goes, "Hey, mister, could you?" And then you just see his legs because he's getting dragged up, and then the camera turns pink.
Oh, yes. Yeah. And that is when we see, like, one of the most epic shots that was remade from the original, because I did see that scene from the original.
Yeah, yeah.
The whole blob starts to get bigger, and it, like, covers the movie theater, and is grabbing everybody. And that's when we see...
Also, can I just say, in that entire scene, epilepsy warning?
Yeah, yeah. Meg runs in, and there's, like, a camera flashing.
And it looks like a nightclub.
Strobe light, yeah.
Yeah, it's very strobe lightish. Satisfying if you can handle it, but even people without epilepsy, it's still... It
hurts my eyes just watching, but I remember she runs in, we see it like on the main seating area, like picking up people left and right.
Yeah, but then she gets them out, and then they go into the sewers.
No, they go into the alleyway.
They go in the alleyway,
and then the kid tries to say like, "Hey, up here," and then we hear it creeping, so they go into the sewers.
Yep, and then one of I think it's the friend that gets stuck. With his jacket, and then instead of taking his jacket off or trying...
No, they tried to take
It's her brother who... He's stuck with his zipper.
Oh, yeah, the brother's trying to get his zipper
from
off
the door.
On his jacket. And
Friend's doing nothing.
Rip it off. Now, the reason I also say, too, that another reason that we point out that we don't think the blob is as acidic, except by choice, is because of the fact that it didn't just melt through the door. It actually pounds on the door.
Exactly.
And then breaks it down.
Yeah. And it grabs her hair, and it's not, like, acidic.
Well,
it's acidic to the hair when it grabs it.
Yeah, but it didn't do it right away.
Exactly.
I think it chooses when it wants to be acidic.
When it feels organic material?
I think when it feels organic material, that's when
it burns
it's like,
it.
Yeah, it's because if it's meant to be... If they said it was meant to be a weapon, it was a bio-weapon...
But then it could also, like, burn crops and stuff.
Yeah, then it could choose what it wants to do. And...
So, we get into the sewers.
Well, we get Brian, right? He comes back.
Yeah.
Brian comes back and is looking for Meg.
And he's trying to tell people... He's hiding from the government guys because they're looking for him.
Yeah, and they followed him into town. So he's trying to warn the townspeople. And then we cut back to Meg, who is now trying to lift up the sewer grate.
We're messing this up, guys. He didn't walk into town and is looking for it. He rode his bike from the forest into the sewer.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right.
Because he was evading the chopper.
And then we see Meg, who's trying to get her brother and his friend down into the sewers, and
watch out for rats. That's my favorite line, because, like, woman, we're running from a monster.
And then she ends up pulling the lid back on, but we see the blob seep through, and that's when we see it grab her hair and start to dissolve it.
I
think it's like, it looks like they get away, and then when they're walking through, doesn't...
Well, they start walking from ankle deep water to, like, waist deep.
And then it, like, yoinks a rat.
Yeah, it does bring yoink a rat.
Yeah, but the scariest part is they did a Jaws. It reminds me of the Jaws ride so much.
You don't see the pinkness at all. You just see waves,
bubbles.
Moving. Yeah.
Bubbles. Yeah, and it reminds you of the Jaws.
And then
rides.
we're about to get to one of my favorite scenes.
Oh, God. I don't know why this. You need to see a therapist. This is your favorite.
I'm sorry. No, I just love for what they did.
Okay, fair enough, I guess. But they're like climbing out. They're trying to climb it.
She's trying to get the kids up.
Which good on her. Good on her.
Yeah,
Noble.
because we
Noble.
have a little storm cellar kind of area there before. There's the drain, and then there's the other next crates that are down in the actual sewer.
Yeah.
And she's trying to get them up there.
So she gets her brother up first, I think.
Because family first.
Yeah, and then she's trying to... Doesn't the one
He
friend...
like starts walking towards her and then just gets dragged.
Yeah,
under,
and
and he's gone.
Yeah, he's pulled under. We see some bubbles, and then
And we see Meg dive into
She
the water.
dives in to get him, which
No.
I'm sorry.
You
I don't
can't
care.
see. And it's sewer water.
Yeah.
There's shit and piss in there.
Well, that and like if it pulls you under, you're gone. Like I wouldn't.
So,
if
you're
it
not
pulled
gonna
you
go back
under,
up.
I wouldn't even go back for you. I'd just be like, nope, he's gone. We keep going.
I mean, I don't blame you if you're being melted and you're underwater where you can't see.
No, yeah, exactly.
Wait, can I do this next part?
It's proven that trying to save people from this thing does not work.
So so she comes back up, and it's like quiet. It's quiet for a bit, and she starts looking around a bit, and then she starts walking back, and we see like the one his friend come back up, but he's like in the blob getting melted.
Yeah, he's
And then
midway
he
through
comes-
melt.
Yeah, and then he goes back under, and then she freaks out, realizes it's still there,
Which you
Which
don't
again was a
expect
cool
it.
effect.
Yeah, it is a cool effect.
and it
it's-
was unexpected.
Yeah, because you don't expect it to kill a kid.
Yeah, you never see the kid die, which I will give this movie props for like the only.
That's bold. That's bold.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's bold.
Halloween 2018 did it.
Halloween
and
2018 did it.
I'm glad they did because that kid was absolutely stupid. I'm
It
sorry.
chapter 1.
Well, no, chapter 2 too.
Well, yeah, but chapter 1, like that, when Georgie dies, I did not expect them to be that graphic and explicit with it.
I was. I could tell just by looking at the way they made Bill.
Well, yeah, but how they made Bill Skarsgård look.
Oh yeah, I knew that as soon as it was rated R.
Well, I was thinking in my head, like, they're not going to show a kid die. No, they straight up, he's like crawling with his stump. And I'm like, this is really fucked.
Yeah, everybody in the theater just went like,
Wow.
and then there's me
Yeah.
like,
'Cause
yeah,
they-
I called it.
In the miniseries, well, then I guess it's on TV too. But they never show any.
No, they just show the
They show him grab Georgie's arm and then the teeth and then.
and then the red eyes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Back to the blob.
Yeah, back to the lab. So
she tries to get through.
yeah, she's climbing up and then.
On this large pipe.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like too.
Oh no!
And then some hazmat guys come in and try to shoot it. That's what distracts it.
That's the only thing that saves her.
Yeah, which it opens like a Venus flytrap almost
Yeah.
to try.
Oh yeah,
and-
because it's like
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
a tumor.
trying to-
So it gets distracted.
the one guy, don't shoot it. We're trying to take it alive, and gets taken. And it's like,
Right as he
stop
says
talking. Oh god.
So she can't fit through the grate that her brother went through.
Yeah, but as she's like, she gets to like a ledge, and as she's about to get there, Brian grabs her, and because her brother gets out, but she has to go through another way because
'Cause she
she's too
can't fit.
small. Yeah,
So she jumps back down, right?
yeah, and Brian saves her.
Which we need to acknowledge that the blob at this point, like that's at least
it's
a 30
bad,
foot, like a 30-foot drop from that in the sewer, and
Yeah.
this
Maybe
thing
like
is
I wouldn't say 30.
large.
More like 20.
Pretty
15.
large.
But
Pretty
it's
large.
still a good amount.
Yeah, but then like he
She starts crawling up the one thing that's like slanted.
well he gets her, and then they're running and they meet up with the hazmat guy who was actually nice.
He lived because he got injured, but he was still alive.
Well, no, he was the guy. He was also the guy who was like, "We gotta help these people." Like,
Oh,
he
yeah.
Yeah, he was
actually
the one
had
who-
sympathy.
Told Dr. Meadows basically shove it.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna let you kill people for your little experiment.
yeah,
He also wanted to try and get out of there to save his own skin.
yeah.
Because I remember he was freaking out.
But then, as they're climbing up, they see Dr. Meadows.
Or wait, no, they're sealing off the...
Well,
pipe.
they see him, and then
Oh.
he seals it off. He's like,
Yeah.
seal it off, and they cover the manhole and then drive a car above it. To which
Well,
I'm like, fuck you.
That's mostly the Colonel's orders. That
Oh, yeah.
Hagris is the one who basically.
Well, because Meadows is above Hagris.
Yeah, Meadows just is like, I don't really give two shits, but you do what you feel is right at that point.
No, but then Brian finds that the injured guy has a what kind of gun? What did you say it was? It's a missile launcher.
It's an
but
M72, which is basically a...
It's collapsible.
Yeah, it's collapsible. You fire it once and then you toss the tube.
Yep.
Because you can't put another one in. Or it's meant to be disposable.
Yeah.
And it was you see it a lot in the 80s stuff because that was our main rocket.
Yeah. But he uses it to blow up the
Great.
And the truck.
yeah.
And then we see them come out, and that's when
He picks up a rifle.
The thing with how he picks up a rifle and points it at the main guy, and then all the other guys point at it, including the sheriff.
And then we kind of have a Mexican standoff for a minute.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because the one guy says kill him, and then right when he says that, the sheriff guy's like, "Don't you do it either." Like
he points at Meadows,
which Deputy Bill ends up getting shot.
Yeah, he gets shot like in the shoulder, but he's fine.
Yep, and then Brian and Meg are able to flee to get away from that.
Yeah,
and
then the doctor, he stands over the grate and gets
pulled under by the Blob.
Oh yeah,
well, no,
didn't the Blob pull someone in?
No, it grabs Dr. Meadows, grabs him by the leg, starts to pull him in, and then goes up into his suit.
Yeah.
And starts filling his mask and everything and is assimilating him, and then yanks him in.
Well, yeah, because he's like half yanked, and he's using a gun to hold himself up.
He's using the rifle.
When it yanks, it breaks the rifle in
Which
half.
is still that takes a lot of strength.
Yeah, and then the colonel has my favorite thing of like,
I'm
in charge now. Kill it.
He basically just does a Dr. Robotnik or Jim Carrey version of Robotnik.
For some reason, he takes off his helmet.
I'm in charge.
Well, yeah, and then they all like just start shooting down it, and he drops a grenade down it.
No, he dropped a
C4
satchel pack thing.
Satchel pack of C4 down.
Which blows up. And then we have a moment of silence. Everything is like, oh yeah.
Oh,
which
yay,
obviously, as the audience, you know, it's like,
it's
oh
not.
no,
We've seen this
fucked.
like 2 other times.
This is the moment in the movie where the villain comes back for one last scare.
It literally, the Blob breaks through the entire street and then slams down. It looks like a giant.
Oh yeah,
we're talking Godzilla size now.
And then didn't the colonel pull the things?
No.
Well, he gets covered by it during the chaos and pulls the pins of his grenades
because for some reason wearing grenades on him.
Yeah, and you see like the Blob for a second just and then go back.
No, wait, we saw the 2 little flashes in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's in the Blob race. So very, very good attention to detail too with these visual effects.
Yeah, so they're running
City Hall.
Oh yeah, the Reverend gets attacked, but Meg saves him with fire extinguisher.
Yeah, because the guy tries to shoot it with the flamethrower. The thing covers the tube, which blows the flamethrower tank up.
And the guy's doing a great fire stunt.
Yeah, the guy in the hazmat suit gets
and the
burned.
Reverend gets caught on fire as well. That's what.
And then she puts him out with the thing, which I think she hits
it by accident and then realized cold, right? And then
then she starts spraying it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And that's when Brian gets the idea to head out and grab the snowmaker.
Well, that's after everyone's barricaded in City Hall.
Oh my god, I feel bad for the deputy.
Remember. You ever seen Freddy versus Jason with the guy who gets folded
in the bed? We were talking about
in
that
the bed.
Earlier.
Yeah, same shit.
Except
a lot
other way.
Melted.
Other way.
And
folded the other way.
He gets folded down the traditional.
Still feel horrible.
Down the traditional way.
No, it's bad because
you ever touch your toes? Yeah,
because they're barricading.
God,
he gets pulled through a bookshelf.
Oh yeah,
and you just see him fold.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Like a game of Texas Hold'em.
Yeah, it was bad.
But then Brian at some point got the snow machine. And
he breaks through the.
He rams it.
Oh yeah, and the thing flips.
Mm-hmm.
Because doesn't the truck almost like bounce off the thing?
Yeah.
Or the Blob.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which I thought was kind of funny.
And that's when we got Meg, who's trying to save him then.
Oh yeah, because he's in the
cab. Oh yeah, and her dad comes out too.
Yeah, so basically Meg gets trips and gets caught with her foot, with her shoe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, no, we just skipped a little bit of stuff.
What did we skip?
So like, I remember he starts getting almost, it starts engulfing the truck. The Blob starts like trying to crush the truck.
On fire. Yeah.
No, the truck, because I remember the tank, the snowmaker tank broke off the truck.
Yeah, that's right.
And then we see her go to this dying hazmat suit guy who's missing his arms and legs.
Oh yeah, and he's like, what did she grab from him?
Another satchel charge.
Oh yeah.
And then she runs over to the snow
to blow up the snowmaker.
The snow tank. And then when she goes to leave, she gets caught on the strap of the satchel charge.
That's right.
And that's when she trips over the side of the truck, and then we get Brian, who crawls out, helps her down, saves her, and then as the Blob goes to grab them, that's when
the tank blows up.
Tank blows up and freezes it into shards.
And it starts snowing.
It starts snowing because it...
then,
Christmas.
yeah.
Snowmaker.
So then we just see a bunch of like a ton of like purple and pink
Shards.
crystals.
And we can't forget one thing. We did forget one thing, and that
Oh,
is
the
during the
Reverend.
chaos. The Reverend.
Not even during the chaos.
That was at the
midway
diner.
through. He went to the diner and he took the crystals out of the freezer of the diner.
Yeah, but he also during the chaos is when he
Got
got
burned.
hit in the face when with one of the
The
explosions.
flamethrower. No, it was the
Or-
flamethrower that got him.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, and it burns half of his face.
yeah, which is important to the end credit part. But
Yeah. So after
they hug,
Yeah,
yay,
and then we
sing.
flash forward.
yeah, then that's when we go about 20 years later.
I think 10.
Is it?
Or-
Yeah,
I think it was 10
he's
or less.
significantly older.
he is. You're right.
And then we're in the middle of this field.
It's have
like
you
a-
ever wondered how a cult starts?
Just a little tent in the middle of nowhere.
Big tent
In the middle of like a wheat field. They're doing
Mm-hmm.
a service.
And it makes you think it's like a traditional church service.
We see the priest, but now he has an eye patch and half
But-
his face is burned.
Well, he's preaching doomsday.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
he's preaching
And he's
this-
wearing
yeah.
sunglasses. And it's when he goes into the back.
The lady comes.
He takes off his sunglasses. We realize how blinded he is and that
His
he knows
his
the
eye
scar.
was burned.
Again, this woman asks, "Is it coming soon?" And he goes, "Very soon," or something.
And
When
then
the
picks up-
Lord gives me the signal.
And
Yeah.
picks up the shard of what was once the frozen
So now it's
piece of
a,
the
it's like a
blob.
tiny
it's
version
like
of
moving
it.
in the glass.
Yeah, so that does raise the question too of what happened to the bigger version of the blob because that became very, very huge.
I
So
imagine
what did
they-
they do to
I'm
contain it?
assuming.
Yeah.
They've
this is-
dropped it in the Arctic.
Well, I'm assuming, and this is just me, government facility somewhere.
So
That-
SCP.
Yeah. God,
Oh
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. It makes too much sense.
And then credits roll. Yeah.
Yeah, which overall
Yeah, what'd you guys think about the movie?
I love it. I
It's good.
Wish
It's
we
like-
got to see the sequel, but
never.
yeah,
didn't do well enough, unfortunately.
I think this definitely would have been one of those sequels that
Just trashy.
no, I think
It would have been good.
they had a lot of well thought
They had a,
thought into it. Now I hope they wouldn't have gone like Godzilla, but I do believe that they would have made a second movie.
Yeah.
It definitely would have had potential.
Yeah, because
More
the
of a
gore of it, and if they kept with that same gore style.
oh my god, that was
Yeah.
amazing.
Which-
the effects.
This movie is gory, but it's not gory in the sense of
Blood.
gore. It's
Yeah.
more. It's just how much effects. It literally looks like even the cover of the Blob,
Yeah.
like the stuff for the DVD. It reminds me of the Willy Wonka Charlie and the Chocolate
Oh, yeah,
Factory
the river.
version,
Yeah.
where like if when you're on the title menu, the Oompa Loompas will pour like that weird
Yeah.
goo syrup on you.
I remember.
It's just something visually satisfying to see something so foreign.
Yeah. Yeah. And I feel like, what do we feel like a sequel would have been? I feel like they definitely would have gone the route of like, oh, the main two characters, they're married now, and he's a working stiff, blah, 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 blah. Like, he's got a business suit on now.
Oh,
Ugh.
I don't think it would have gone that far.
I feel like they would have done something different because the way they killed off Paul pretty quick.
Yeah.
I think it was a clear indication that they absolutely knew what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe like the priest would come back or something.
Well, the priest would
No,
definitely came back.
I'm just saying what would have happened with them two mains.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
I feel like they would have done something different. I feel like their character development.
I feel like the priest would have, like, when he gets his sign or whatever to start it off, I feel like he would have poured the blob on himself.
Yeah, probably.
really one.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
That he was gonna either that or sacrifice his followers.
Yeah, exactly.
And I
Place
feel like,
your hand.
yeah. Which quick before we go, what do
Yeah.
you guys think? Who do you think would have win?
Oh, yeah,
the
the-
Blob or the Thing?
Wait, wasn't
Ooh.
it the stuff? Oh yeah, the thing.
The Thing. Well, the stuff is interesting too. The blob or the Thing. I'd go. I'd go blob. I'd go blob.
It's an interesting debate.
Depends. Where are they fighting?
They're
fighting in-
neutral. They're neutral.
Okay, so they're not in Antarctica, which
No.
would definitely the blob would die.
Yeah, exactly.
Or,
Or at
like
least
in the
freeze
cyanide.
over.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
Or in the cyanide desert or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'd say.
I
the
feel
blob.
like given neutral ground, the Blob would win just because it's acidic,
Yeah.
and we all saw how. Well, just how fast like acid can burn,
Yeah.
especially with the Blob. So I feel like to submerge
Oh, yeah.
the Thing in that, if
Yeah.
it's already
Because the Thing can't do fire that well.
yeah. So I'm feeling like it's like, well, bitch, I'll just boil you on up, man.
I feel like the Thing would try to run and outlast it and like assimilate into like a dog or something and just keep running away.
Or maybe like a piece of the Blob or something.
Or try to assimilate the
What
Blob.
if the Thing made himself into the Blob? Because wasn't that his thing? He would copy people?
Yeah, but he couldn't copy the biology, though.
If you got maybe a small piece of it.
Maybe, but that was like the one thing that they tested in the Thing was because it couldn't mimic blood.
Right.
That's the one thing,
It
too,
can
I've been...
mimic an appearance, not its biology.
Right.
And one thing I've kind of been wondering, because can I just say the priest? He has, like, the pieces of it, right?
Mm-hmm, the Reverend, yeah.
So I'm wondering, would it be, like, a separate being, or would it try to go to, like, where the main piece is?
Or would it try to reform?
I think it'd do a little bit
Yeah.
I think it'd do a little bit of each. I think it'd try to
Reform,
consume what it can so it's strong enough to survive to make it back.
and then reform.
But I think it'd regroup because the Blob is essentially one of itself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, that's what... Because, like, besides with the priest, we never really see it, like, split.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like if you cut off your hand, but if your hand was able to have the ability to come back and reattach
So
itself,
kind of like... Oh,
you know?
We're talking Splinter? Yeah.
I feel like, if your organs could figure out a way to go, hey, that's my body.
Yeah.
It would come back to you and just...
It's kind of like how if you cut a worm in half, then there's two worms.
Yeah, it just regenerate.
Mm-hmm.
Or just do what a starfish does. Grow itself another...
There it is.
Or kind of like a lizard or a gecko.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, that's only with its tail.
That's only with its tail. Starfish will actually grow another starfish from a severed limb.
Mm-hmm.
Entirely. Biology and everything.
It's fascinating. So, Blob is good.
Yeah,
Blob
it's a
is
good movie.
I would say, what would you rate on a scale of 1 to 10? I'd say this is like probably an 8.9 for me.
I feel like we got to do it in categories. Visual effects, 10.
Oh, definitely.
Soundtrack, 10. I mean, the characters, some of them were really strong, but I'd say maybe like a 7.
Yeah.
I give it 7.8.
Yeah. A lot of them forgettable.
Yeah.
As is referenced by us having to go to the Wikipedia so much. But
Yeah, because I couldn't even remember the difference between Biker Guy and Jock.
Script and story, I'd have to give it like a 7.2.
yeah,
It was
could have
weak
been
because it
done.
was cliche, but the way it was unraveled, I should say, the way it was executed,
Yeah.
I'd have to give at least an 8 because they did execute the cliche
Yeah.
story.
Plus
The
the-
story as a story, I have to give it lower, but as an execution of the story and
Yeah.
the way it played
Yeah.
with the characters and the special effects, you could definitely tell that they weren't trying to stretch a budget with the
No
special
pun intended.
effects.
And still, we have to remember that this is also, it started in the 50s, so
You have a 58 first one, the original.
yeah, 58, which they probably took a decent amount of stuff from.
Oh, definitely. A lot of the scenes, I think, that were
The
in
town,
there were
yeah.
redone.
Or like the thing overrunning the movie theater, I think they did in the 50s one.
They did. They did.
It didn't show like the inside. We just saw it come out the doors in the 50s one, if I remember right.
Yep.
Yeah, it was.
It wasn't as graphic, the 50s one. I know
No,
that,
God, no.
that as much. I
No,
know.
50s.
Well, back then it wouldn't have been. Yeah.
Not even late 70s, maybe.
Yeah.
70s is kind of when it started, like the slasher stuff. Or was that more 80s?
When
No,
did
that was more 60s.
when did
because
Black
Psycho.
Christmas come out?
Oh yeah, Psycho.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Psycho is what established the idea because of the fact
Yeah.
that there was
Black
blood
Christmas
going down
was the
drain.
first one.
Now, Black Christmas was the full-on first technical slasher.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, but again, we all agree that the final act is probably the weakest because when it gets to a certain size, it's just not scary anymore.
No, you already know what it's capable of, but it gives the strength of its power,
Yeah.
visualizing its power, which you gotta admit, that movie theater, seeing it just gobble up tons of
Yeah.
people is pretty awesome. But no, as a horror element.
Yeah, as far as suspense, because
thing-
if you can see it completely. Yeah.
And the other thing I thought was kind of cool is like when you see them trying to burn it, and then it doesn't affect it at
No,
all, and it just
nothing.
it literally just plugs the flamethrower end
You would think.
blows up.
You would think.
and blows up the fuel pack.
You would think with them being the ones who designed it, they would know how to kill it. But no.
Well, I mean, you gotta think
Our
it was-
government doesn't ask questions. That's why they're testing it on people.
Especially not movie government. Hell no.
especially because
You seen Mars Attacks?
especially
Oh, yes.
because like when they do something like this in the
Mm-hmm.
movies, it's like the reason they're doing it is because they're testing it to see like what it can do good and also what can kill it.
Yeah,
That's kind of the main idea of it.
I guess. All right.
Do it with hobos.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah.
What is this? The stuff? All right.
No, street trash.
Street trash. Sorry, dude. It's the end of the day. Like, where can they watch the Blob from 1988 if they want to know?
Pull that up real quick for you guys. It's definitely worth a view. Are you trying to sing the Blob theme? Beware of the Blob.
I wasn't even consciously doing that, honestly. But
yes, please, guys, look up the Blob.
1988.
That's 1958 theme song.
Oh, okay.
And look up Attack of the Killer Tomatoes after that, and then tell us how you feel.
Of the Killer Tomato.
Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
I didn't know they got Kernov to do the
Which, okay, hang on. We're getting it. Well, if it'll bring it up today, our Wi-Fi is...
Well, since you're
All right,
sassing
well,
it,
here
no.
we go. Well, we have it on Vudu for $2.99, Amazon Prime for $2.99, and YouTube for $3.99, and Google Play Movies and TV for $3.99. So you guys can go check it out there.
Frickin' Christine was everywhere.
I would say that you guys would be better off just buying it if
Yeah.
you're a movie collector. Because
Yeah.
me personally, at the end of the day, even if you don't like it, then give it to somebody else who appreciate it.
Although
or just have it on
Although I
yourself.
will say the opening menu screen kind of gives away a little bit.
A little bit, but like
Because the opening
it's a nice.
screen is Meg and Brian on the bike, and her boyfriend's not there at all. So it kind of gives away the whole shock of him dying first, you know?
Well,
Well,
no, it
no,
doesn't even
'cause-
show him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
it doesn't show them because you never know. Maybe that could have been a clever marketing play, too.
Maybe. I don't know. You get the idea in the beginning that it's going to be these three against the world, and nope.
Well, yeah, maybe that's what it could have been. Maybe that they,
Maybe like in
you
the
know, they
originals.
write the poster be like, oh, these are our two main characters, but maybe they would have just killed off Brian instead.
Arcane Man.
Yeah, I would have liked that flip.
We'll love
been
seeing
interesting.
Can Man.
All right. Well,
Anyway,
thank you all for watching.
Yeah.
or listening wherever you are, and this has been your host, Noah Sweeto.
Nathaniel Shoemake.
And Doug 80s.
Yeah, or 80s Doug.
80s Doug 80s.
Doug Diggano.
Yeah, we'll have the fans decide your name. we'll have them decide your fate. Throw him into the pit, Noah.
All right, you guys have
Yeah, you guys have a good
wonderful
night, day, whatever.
wherever you're listening.
And
to
this is Radio Film Nerds Hour signing out.
Radio Film Nerds Hour.
What?
I'm
Film
making,
Nerds
I'm
Hour
making a joke.
podcast.
I'm
Oh.
making a joke.
It's not a great one. I'm so kidding. Bye,
Understandable.
everybody.
See you later.
See ya.